Again, welcome to this session. It's a recap on setting and achieving and maintaining and sustaining goals. And I've got a beautiful illustration here because a lot of times people talk about things like, what about the vision, and what about the mission, and what about your values, and what about the objectives, and what about the action plans? So I'm going to help you a little bit more specific in this session. And remember my famous passage always, Philippians 3:12 to 14. But one thing I do, forgetting what is behind and straining towards the goal. So what do you have in mind? Where do you see yourself? And then the question is always, where do we start? Now, if you want to ask me what is the best place to start, there's normally about 4 or 5 questions. And I'm going to throw it into you, and I want you to think about it. If you're in a business or a ministry, or doesn't matter where you are, the first question is that you always ask, why do we exist? Why do we exist? The second one is, what is the reason, or just give me another formula for success. Then it's always great to talk about the character of your business. And then also, what do you see? What do we need to do, and how and when? And then also, in terms of support from our stakeholders. Because every organization, as well as a person, I'm saying you've got to have a mission, a purpose, a reason for being. You're not just on earth just for coincidence. So it's crucial to understand the nature of that business, the nature of who you are, and where are you going. And one of the best ways is always to look around. What do you see in the world today? Where are opportunities? What are the needs that we need to address? What are your principles? So a lovely way to do it, to put a mission statement together, is using what I call a simple balanced scorecard, or a personal scorecard in this case. And it's asking you a couple of questions, but just before you do it, we've got another assessment that I call my current heartbeat, because a lot of people don't always know where to start. It's a little bit confused. And I'm saying, what is complicating your heart right now, or your business, or your ministry? What keeps you awake at night? What inspires you? What are your indicators of high vitality? What are your dreams? Now, I would suggest be practical. Put those thoughts together. Put it in writing. Forward it to me. Then we can discuss it. Because sometimes we look at something and we are not on the same page. We look at things and we see something different. We are not always fully engaged. And look at this next slide. People are not engaged. They don't see the same picture. There's a distance, there's disconnect, there's disappointment. So if you start with a vision and you suddenly realize we are not on the same page, what's going to happen? This is what's going to happen. This is a beautiful illustration. I've done it so many times. And then people start saying, yeah, I see 2 people standing at the ocean or at a lake. And I'm saying, what else do you see? Then I wait and wait and wait and wait. I'm thinking our example, I was in Nigeria, and it was about half an hour later. People were still fighting and disagreeing. And I said, this is not clear. We don't see the baby. So if you've missed it, please watch this video again and you will see. Because we need to set goals so that we are on the same page. Because one vision plus another vision is going to be a division. So where do we start? Start always with what? With your mission statement, who you are. And then there's this famous just biblical observation as well, where there is no vision, the people perish. You cannot just put a vision together and you don't repeat it from time to time. So where do we start? My first starting point is always, do you know who you are? What are your life objectives? What is the reason why you live? That's the who am I statement. And then you ask yourself, where are you going? What are your long-term ambitions? It doesn't matter if you're 50, 60, or 70, or even 80. What are your ideals? What are your ambitions? And then you've got to look at what factors make you unique. What do you have in your hands? What are the things that you can do and you can develop? It is possible. You've got certain skills and abilities. And then you've got to sit down and say, well, listen, what's going to be your short-term personal results? What do you want to accomplish in the next 6 months, in the next 12 months, in the next 18 months? And how are you going to measure it? I love always when I do this exercise, include values. What are you standing for? And then also put some action plans together. There was a famous statement from a Dr. Robert Schuller. Now listen to this. A person dies when he stops dreaming. Fear not that you shall die. Fear rather that you shall stop living before you die. And I've heard this statement a couple of times. We only live once. And I said, no, that's wrong. We live every day. You only die once. Can I repeat that? You live every day. You only die once. So if you want to start with your mission statement, look at your past successes. What's standing out? And give 2 or 3 or 4 examples. There must be a couple of examples. Identify your core values. Identify for something that you want to stand for. And then start putting your goals together. There's a specific document. We call it identifying and finalizing your mission statement. Connect with me, forward it, fill in the details so that I can discuss it and highlight and coach you in these type of things, because it's going to help you understanding yourself so that you can write your personal mission statement. And again, I want to ask yourself, do you know who you are? Do you know why you exist? And you know, what do you want to accomplish in life? So you can think about lots of examples in the world today, but today I want to focus on you. Do you know those questions? What do you want to accomplish? Where do you see yourself? And if you can get this right, it will make a huge difference in your studies, in your business life, in your personal life, in your ministry. And again, I want to say this, I believe we should put everybody on a goal-setting course once per year. You need to realign, you need to revisit, you need to know where you are, you need to look at the gaps so that you can close the gaps and still make that big difference. Now again, I want to repeat, we've got some beautiful self-assessments to help you. We've got online courses on how to understand my design, how to live on my design. It's waiting for you. You must just connect. Because I believe you can influence people, you can change people, and you've got a role. And that's why I want to bless you that you're going to apply these type of things and you're going to see it differently, because vision without action is just merely a dream. But action without vision just passes the time. But vision with action can change the world. So I'm asking you right at the end of this session, what did you hear so far? What did you hear? And then secondly, what do you think about this stuff? And then finally, what will you do? That to me is very important. So listen, and I want to repeat, let's keep these vibes alive, set some goals, set your mission statement, put it in place, keep on making a difference, and I know you will be blessed. Enjoy it. There's still one more session that I'm going to talk about. How do we sustain as well as how do we maintain it? Keep on making a difference and multiply, and use this information by setting some wonderful goals, but you need to sustain it, and that's why I've got another session. Be blessed.